Recently, I have made a lot of content about American men going overseas to travel, but, also find love and get a fair shake in the dating market. And that is what a lot of guys are looking at trying to do, or at least muster up the courage to leave their homeland and try something different. But now, we always believe that guys who are athletes, men who are rich and successful, they don't need to do that, right? They can find a woman here in America because if they're rich, if they're good looking, all the women are coming towards them. But now, here's a very interesting case with former quarterback Robert Griffin III. We all know him as RG3. RG3 played about 7 years in the NFL. He had one good year, which is his rookie year, and after that, injuries plagued him. He kind of underperformed his abilities, and he was a career backup for the rest of the way. But interestingly enough, RG3 did get married. But to who? He married a former Florida State track athlete from Estonia by the name of Sadeko. And I might be saying her name wrong, but with this particular marriage, they have 3 children. And Robert, Griffin III has always, for what I understand, dated white women. And he posted this on Twitter. Breaking news, my wife is now an American citizen. So now let's look at this situation also, because this is something that I want to ask the question. If American men can't go overseas, or if Black American men can't go overseas, can they go to certain places where foreign women are at in America and then marry them there? Well, that's absolutely been the case. I know a brother who basically is in Jacksonville, Florida. I don't want to reveal his name, but you know what? He actually found his wife in Florida in the Brazilian community, and they're married right now. They're doing very, very well. You've seen it with Donald Trump, right? And in this case, you have a woman who's already in the United States, already knows the culture. She's already there on a visa. You don't have to bring her there. And yeah, she's still performing in the same way as a woman would overseas. Now, what do I mean when I'm saying performing in the same way? I mean that according to my buddy, she's still cooking meals. She takes care of the kid. She's giving him all the respect. And the community that she is in also encourages her to do the same. Because a lot of guys come to me and they say this, listen, man, if you go overseas and you get a woman and you bring that woman to America, that woman is going to become an American citizen. She's going to be like disrespectful like the rest of the ladies, and you're going to have a hard time. I understand that particular argument, right? But now here's what we don't understand. A lot of women from these other cultures were raised to be wives. That's why the Bible says you raise up a child in the way he should go, and when he gets older or she gets older, they will not depart from it. So what do we see here? Well, what we see, guys, is women coming from overseas from 2-parent homes. Yes, they are in the matrix and they get, kind of understanding what's going on. But one thing is for sure, guys, some of these women still want traditional families, and maybe getting a divorce and things like that might not be a part of the plan. So that's why I'm talking about this today. Are Black men going to do the same if they can't go overseas? I think the answer could be yes. Now, how do you find these women? That's the situation, right? Definitely it's a little bit more difficult, or let's say it's more difficult. Let's say, for example, if you're living in certain cities and you don't have these communities where these ladies live at, and I can understand it, right? But maybe if you're in places like Philadelphia, New York City, Los Angeles, where you come across foreign women or their friends. I know my buddy, he knew some people in the Brazilian community. That is how he got introduced to his wife. So certainly, I believe there is opportunities for that. And I think if black men get involved in such, situations, well, what are you going to see? I honestly believe you're going to see the same thing happening. You're going to see men dealing with women in America from other countries and start to hook up there, maybe not go overseas for the fact that she's already in the States. She's already legal. I mean, getting those little visas and stuff, that's is like, very cost effective. It's cost intensive rather. And if you're noticing, even guys like RG3 are doing it. He could have had anybody. Why did he choose her? He chose her because of her values. He chose her because of who she was. Now, obviously, she was an athlete. She was smart. She was already bright. These are things a lot of guys are looking at. And even RG3 kind of became a passport bro. In a way, he married foreign, but in the United States. That's why he's bragging on his wife becoming a U.S. citizen. And I think it goes to show that a lot of guys feel that women that are from America, born and raised, just don't have what it takes when it comes to the family environment. I could be wrong, guys. And don't get mad. I could be wrong. But that's what it looks like. It looks like guys are seeing that. Like, look, if I get a woman from America, she's not going to be that serious. When it comes to, the family structure, as far as me leading and being a man, it's not going to happen. I'm better off dealing with a woman that is not from here, or dealing outside my race, or dealing with a woman who's on a green card. And that's what I think guys are doing. And as far as black men, the only problem is going to be having access. How do you get into those communities? Typically women who are foreign, and if you're going to date them as somebody as a black person, you'd have to either work with them, run into them, or somebody has to introduce you to them. That's the only option, in my honest opinion, or you get lucky. But certainly if guys can meet foreign women in America, I think it's over. I have no doubt in my mind that brothers is definitely going to be feeling that, wanting to get that opportunity just like RG3. And again, RG3 has gotten a lot of hate for being a black man, successful, married to a white woman, and now married to a woman that's foreign and taking care of her and not having a black wife. But at the same time, I always come back to this. It's called competition. And the more women come into America dealing with eligible black men and that are going to compete for their time, and especially when RG3 played in DC, which has a myriad of black women, and that never happened, it's a lot to be talked about. It's a lot to be said about that. Why isn't RG3 with a black woman, right? And I don't think it's because he doesn't like black women. I just think that the competition is very, very fierce. And it's something that we need to be able to have a discussion about. Are our women in our community competing for these eligible guys? I feel like the answer might not be yes. But what do you guys think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I already appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.